Hi everybody! Today we're going to talk about something. Actually, we're going to talk about many things. Starting with PlayStation 5 price increases. It is $100 for base models with disc or without the disc drive, and $150 for the Pro models. And this is because of, as you might have guessed, AI industry demand. They want your RAM, they want your storage, they want your GPUs, they want your soul, they want your many things, And as a result of that, we are getting these price hikes. We need to pay more. We need to, work in labor camp. Everything, they want everything from you. Sam Altman wants your ass. Okay. Now we got that out of the way, right? And many people thinks that this will result in a very expensive PlayStation 6. It will definitely result in a very expensive Xbox, because that will not be a console. That will be a PC console bullshit hybrid. It might result in a switch to price increase. It might result in a very expensive Steam machine, and this can all be right. This can all be correct, but I don't think this is the only possible outcome, or only possible outcome indefinitely. Yeah, I don't think it is, because I believe that AI industry will reach a threshold. It won't be this growing ever long, okay? So at some point, some companies will no longer be relevant. Yes, Pak, which companies don't like? She says I hate them all. She's very wise. As a result of that, there will not be many demand for computing power. The demand that makes these components of computing power very expensive, and the reason for that is very complicated, but you may have been read something about AI bubble, possibility of its bursting, and I am betting on that will be the case. But that's all for that. Now we are going to the next segment, which is very related to this, and it is Google's new achievement, their new announcement. It is very important, so it seems everybody is talking about it like that, and it had some real world consequences, which is their new what the fuck was that? Turbo Quant. Look at my.
That's my quant.
Your what?
My quantitative. My math specialist. Look at him. You notice anything different about him? Look at his face.
That's pretty racist.
Look at his eyes.
Quant. He's Asian. He doesn't know English. Turbo Quant. Okay. Turbo Quant is what is this? Compressor. Okay. It compresses data that AI uses for its many AI things it does. Okay. And these data storage need is what makes these, hard drives, SSDs, RAMs, everything. I'm not that sure about the RAMs, but so expensive. And I think it has something to do with RAMs. I'm walking it back, because RAM prices, I saw it on Twitter, I'm going to put it in here, is going down as well. And this might be something we see more of if other AI companies use something like this too, but we're not sure of it. Okay. Still, it is an step at a more positive way, we can say, I guess. Okay. And we would like that. I am not happy AI is more cost effective, because I don't like the way AI is used, but still, it is good. It is good. I'm more okay with the way Google is using it anyway. If I'm going to take some of these evil ass companies, I will probably pick Google with their way of using AI. But okay, that's why we need to include that. It had some real world consequences, and if it is a trend, if it is that effective, because markets are reacting to it very strongly, there is a 5% drop in most of the storage companies in markets. If it is a big achievement, it will affect us too, as people who play video games. I hope it is the case. I hope it is the result we will reach in the end. And yeah, that's all for now. These two were related, as you can see. And a third thing, another thing that happened this weekend, and that is PlayStation 6 discourse, I guess. And there's only one source, not a confirmed source. I'm not sure about their credibility, but we are going to take that as a jumping point and talk about PlayStation 6, possibility of PlayStation 6 in general. And this one particular source, they claim that it will take about $760 for Sony to produce PlayStation 6, and they say it is a possibility that they take a $60 loss and sell the PlayStation from $700. That's a possibility, but they also say Sony might not do that because of, Xbox is out of the picture right now, and they can be less competitive because there's no competition. Unless this Steam machine does well or Switch 2 does amazing things. But still, in the main stage of consoles, there is no competition to Sony in the next generation because, what Xbox will do is more of a competition to Steam machine. But whatever, still, like we said, Sony might take a $60 loss because of how underwhelming PlayStation 5 generation has been. Or they may not, and they may say, fuck it, we are going to sell it for $800, we are going to sell it for $900. They can do that. But I don't think that would be consistent in its lifetime. Like I said, we are seeing price hikes instead of price cuts in this generation. And I think if Sony does that, $800 console or $900 console, we can see a price cut in that generation. For two reasons. One, we mentioned, RAM prices will probably go down. I'm betting on that because of, Turbo Quant and as a more decreasing AI market trend. And the second reason is something we have seen before, with PlayStation 3 and Nintendo 3DS. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. PlayStation 3 has launched at $600 or $700. Let me check it. PS3 launch price. Okay, it had launched in two models, $500 model, and that was 20 gigabyte, $600 model, that was 60 gigabyte. But still, it was more expensive than Xbox 360. So they didn't perform that well because of the cell processor too. Many reasons, but price was one of them. So later down the line of the console's lifespan, Sony cut the price, and PlayStation 3 at the end of the day sold more than Xbox 360. Another example of that is Nintendo 3DS. They had launched the 3DS at $300 and they cut the price too. And I believe if Sony releases PlayStation 6 at $800 or $900, they won't sell very good because of a high price and also because of underwhelming previous generation. And I believe, let's say they release PlayStation 6 in 2028. I believe in the 2029 or 2030 at worst, PlayStation 6 would get a price cut. I'm betting on that. You might say it won't happen. It might not happen. But we are speculating right now, and that is my guess. And I think that would be for the best. Because how well PlayStation 5 had sold so far, and how underwhelming it has been, I would probably buy a PlayStation 6 at that price that was reduced. Speculation again. Might not be the case in the future, but I'm betting on it will, and that would give us more years with our PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is a great system. Like, seriously, it's a great system. It can do amazing things, but if PlayStation 6 releases and they make games only for PlayStation 6, which I highly doubt will be the case, we would have less time with our PlayStation 5s. But like I said, I don't think it will be the case. I hope it won't be the case. and I am not that pessimistic about future of gaming. I hope you are not too, because let's be happy, let's be optimistic, let hope everything will be good. I love friends, nothing ever happens, don't forget about these things. And that's about it. I am going to remind you, unfortunately, once again, to please subscribe, please like the video, and let me know what you think. I am speculating, you speculate too. We love a discourse, we love discussion. We are that kind of bugs. That's all for now. Okay, thank you for your attention to my videos. I love it. Bye.